All right. Hey, you know what time it is. It's season 2 of Say It With Your Chest. And I am privileged and peacock proud and hyena happy to have none other than the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Tony Stovall, owner of Hot Sam's Man Clothery downtown. Listen, I don't know where to start, but we're going to start by just allowing him a brief minute to introduce himself for the few of us that have been sleeping on the rock for a little while and don't know who he is. Mr. Stovall, please introduce yourself and say it with your chest.
I am first. I'm pleased to be on this podcast. Say it with your chest. My dear friend here shared this with me a little while back last season about say it with your chest. And I really hadn't heard that frame, that terminology before. Then I had the pleasure of watching some other sports program, and they said say it with your chest. I said, okay, all right. So I guess that means say it like you mean it. And being old school, we always say it like we mean it. Hot Sam's, the oldest men's clothing store in the city of Detroit. Matter of fact, the oldest men's clothing store in the state of Michigan, black owned and operated. We're proud to be from the city of Detroit, the baddest city, not just in the country, but in the world. I've been blessed enough to travel the country. I was in Africa, in Ghana, and somebody said, bruh, you must be from the D. And they wasn't talking about Dallas. They was talking about Detroit. And I said, of course I am. I appreciate you seeing the swag that Detroit brings.
Speaking of the swag Detroit brings, you are a man of many words, but yet still a man of great humbleness. You mentioned what you just mentioned, and you failed to mention that you all were just featured in Vogue magazine. That is huge.
And my response to that, and I'm going to say it with my chest, didn't know this person from New York. Said the word was around that they wanted to talk to someone about swag and Dapper Dan. And guess who they called? I proudly say they called Tony Stovall at Hot Sam. When they called, I asked a couple times, why me? They told me, why not? Because they've heard about the swag we have in Detroit. So I'm honored to be a Detroiter. I'm honored to have the swag, and hopefully I always represent us proudly. Never afraid, always telling the truth. Truth to power. That's what we do in the D.
I love it. So just a brief history for the people, a brief backdrop. I got my prom suit from here in Hot Sam's, and you can clearly see I didn't go to the prom last year or the year before last. It was a few years ago, and the store wasn't even located here when I got my prom suit. It was at a different location. It's still downtown, but at a different location. Look how the history aligns and work. Me and your fathers were good friends and worked together in the plant.
Yeah, matter of fact, when you came down, it was more than just you came down. Your dad brought you down.
He did.
And your dad and my dad were best friends in the UAW.
Yep.
And my dad and his dad truly said everything with their chest, whether you liked it or not. They kept it real. They kept it 100. Real Detroit men keep it 100. But to be truthful about what we're talking about now, it's just an honor to be a Detroiter. And I try to be an example because my father raised me to be the best of whatever you're going to be. And I started working at Hot Sam's, and I want you to keep this clear. I know I might look a little younger. I started working here in 1974. That's over 50 years.
I wasn't even born.
Retail experience. So what we do know, when you have that many years of from working to being the buyer, assistant manager, and then becoming the owner, we're doing something right here at Hot Sam's. But the biggest thing that we do right, we try to keep it 100 with all the young men in particular that we encounter, because sometimes there's a lot of moms raising these young men. I think it's imperative that fathers must be fathers, and we must, with our chest, say it like we mean it to our sons. Yes, we love you, but we're not taking nothing from you. I can help you be a man, because right now you're a boy. And it's important that we as fathers never forget we are the fathers. And our children should be listening to us. Now, we can patiently listen to them, but we're the ones with the years of experience to, as I dress a lot of young men for prom. If they've never been to a prom, how can they tell anyone about a prom?
Mm-hmm.
I've been to several proms. I've dressed plenty of young men for the prom. So therefore, we are the prom experts. We are the ones that create. We have a slogan here at Hot Sam. You have one time to make a first impression. Why not make it your best? Now, I shared that with my daughters, because I have 3 lovely daughters. And a young man came by the house to see one of my daughters. And he was dressed that I felt like a bum. So when he rang the doorbell, I asked what did he want. And he asked one of my daughter's names, and I said, she's not here. Because I didn't want my daughter going out with a bum. Because if you look like a bum, you're going to act like a bum.
I love it.
And my daughters are queens, and I want you to look like a king.
I love it.
That's it.
I love it.
Keep it real here in Hot Sam. Say it with your chest, it fits.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, Mr. Stovall, who I affectionately call Pops, what would you say are some of your highlights personally and professionally, and some of your past challenges professionally and personally?
Well, I always was. I had a dad that raised me with a lot of self-confidence. So when in the process, I was the top salesman, like I told you, at Hot Sam. Then I became the owner. And I probably say top salesman. Becoming the owner was the biggest challenge in my life. When you think you can be an owner, going from a salesman to an owner is 2 different things. Major difference. There's a back room back there called the office, where you have to pay taxes. You have to pay vendors. You have to pay on time. You have to pay accordingly. You have to buy clothes. Hopefully those are the ones that will sell. And it was a very challenging time, but we always rise for all occasions.
I love it.
When we initially bought the store, we set records the first 2 years of sales that Hot Sales had never reached. For about 5 years in a row, we did that. We're now in a new location, and when we came over here, we had to somewhat start over, but we are still here in the space. And I want to share with you good news that we have been able to be very, very successful in downtown Detroit. As you've seen, all the stores that used to be here, all the many men stores that used to be here, Hot Sam still stands. So we must be doing something right. When you have been in business for over 100 years,
wow,
that's experience in itself.
Absolutely.
And it speaks for itself. We're doing something right here in downtown Detroit.
So we are in a new age era where technology is taking over, and so how does this establishment, which has been so successful within the community, and particularly I want to say you guys still do and have hung your hat on customer service and relationships, okay, and now everything is turning to almost to a tech age.
Yes.
How is it that you have planned or are planning not to pivot but to continue to evolve as you have been over the years?
Well, I'm proud to say that I have a daughter that's my marketing manager, Lauren Stovall.
Okay.
And she does a great job of helping us. That's why I say I may be the older and the senior, but you must listen to young people, because technology has come in. I didn't know what Twitter, Instagram,
Facebook,
none of that stuff meant. So in '94, when we bought Hot Sales, became the owners, to buy Hot Sales, we was faxing everything to Lansing, which is the capital. There was no Instagram, Twitter,
email,
and all these different stuff. And my daughter came in and taught us, and we have been following her lead in some of those things with using the internet. But I want you to understand this: customer service still is number one. I myself wouldn't buy anything offline because I need to feel it. I need to touch it. And what Hot Sam's does, and I want people to listen to what I'm saying, brick and mortar stores are also coming back, because a lot of people are buying these things online, don't fit, don't look like what you thought. The sizing is different, who made it, can't get a refund. But there's nothing like a face-to-face confrontation with a customer and a super salesman that cares about your appearance. We also say this: we have a model here. When you come to Hot Sam's, we go out with you. So when you come here, we measure you up. We want you to look good. So when you go out, you will proudly say, "Where'd you get that?" You'll say Hot Sam's. So we proudly want you to look good, to make us all look good. It's very important as us seniors to be able to branch our wisdom with our youth. Because I used to I probably wore a suit and tie every day for 30 years. We now dress down a little bit now so we can reach that younger generation. Because someone you can appear with a suit and tie on all the time, somewhat unapproachable to young people, because young people have their own image of what they think may be cool or what's right and what's not. So we've learned to slow it down a little bit, but still be color coordinated and still be sharp, but tone it down just a little bit. So change is the one thing you always find in life and in business. The reason some of my former business owners are no longer here, they didn't change. We went on the internet. We also did interviews with all of the new customers that are downtown to make sure we knew what they wanted. Instead of guessing as much, we wanted to eliminate the guesswork. So one thing of being an owner, you must always be involved. You must always have your eyes open to see what the consumer wants and how to better serve them.
Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Now, let's talk turkey. So, Detroit is to me, it's the mecca of everything. Maybe I'm a little biased because born and raised and being from here, but Detroit, I feel that everybody in some way, form, or fashion try to copy Detroit. In some area. Sure. Now, so what do out of all of our sports teams, who would be your favorite sports team, and what era, and why was that? Is it the Bad Boys, the Pistons? Is it the Chauncey Billups era Pistons? Is it the Barry Sanders Lions? Is it the Lou Whitaker Tigers? Like, what sports team and what era would you say a Detroit sports team? What's your sports team? Let's don't forget about the Red Wings. Was it the Eisenman Red Wings?
Well, that's probably the easiest question I've been asked during this podcast.
Okay.
It is no question. It is the era of the Bad Boys, led by Isaiah Lord Thomas. I remember when Isaiah first got drafted, downtown here they had some exhibition games. And me and my staff, we went down. He was free. You can go down and watch them play. We saw this little fella, I think they say he's 6'2", maybe 6 feet. We saw him playing, and we saw him doing 360 dunks effortlessly. Now, if you got a little memory, you can remember when they were playing the Boston Celtics, and they had Parrish, Bird, McHale, all of them down there, and the ball went up. And 6 foot Isaiah Thomas dunked on all of them. You can all remember the one they called the Wonder, Michael Jordan. He himself said he had to learn how to win coming through the Pistons. The Bad Boys, and no question, was the best team, not just here in Detroit, one of the best teams ever. Remember, back-to-back champions in the era of Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Jordan, Dominic Wilkins, Dr. J, name it. We beat them all, and we did it twice. We probably should have won 2 more because there were some phantom calls on us. But they wanted to call us the Bad Boys, and Isaiah took the team aside. I remember him saying, since that's what they want to call us, let's do it. Bad Boys, back-to-back champions.
I love it. I love it. Now, why do you feel, Mr. Stovall, why do you feel that we get a bad rep nationally as a city, but through the media? Let me say this, through the media. But everywhere we go and travel worldwide, we get the proper respect through personal engagement and interactions. But the media try to paint a picture that Detroit is like the worst of the worst.
Well, that is something that the country has been doing to Detroit forever. We must remember Detroit is the first city that even had a road. The first street was Woodward Avenue. You must remember that. See, and this what we must remember as Detroiters, how great we are. They were riding horse and buggies until we had automobiles in Detroit. The first Martin Luther King freedom speech was done here first. Martin was a little minister from down south. He came to the big city and he exploded from there. We had sounds called the Motown. We had Stevie Wonder, the Temptations. As far as you want to remember, the sound came from Detroit. If you know our history, we had the riots were here. We survived that. poverty was here. We survived that. We also started the middle class. The middle class was started in the city of Detroit. Henry Ford was the first one to give, I think it was back then, it was $5 a week. That was a lot of money back then. And Detroit has been thriving, being the first of so many things. So we're not really the bad boys. I mean, bad people. I think people are envious of how do they still survive and still have that swag they have. We're not like any other city. We are Detroit. We're unique. We're tough. We're compassionate. We're loving. We're not just bad, but I say it with my chest. We love ourselves and we love you.
That's what. Hey, it couldn't be. You couldn't put it better than that. Couldn't put it no better than that. And to just everything, to me, things that happen, everything happened, I believe, for a reason. But certain things, sins and gives us reminders. I believe it was it 2 or 3 years ago, we had an NFL draft right here downtown Detroit. The NFL draft, and they said that was the most attended NFL draft they have had to date that happened here downtown Detroit.
750,000 people were right here in my backyard.
Unbelievable.
Hot Sam was the only store in downtown Detroit that was on the stage to introduce some of the football players, some of the draft.
Yeah.
We were the only store that when we left here, we went over to Shinola where they had a celebration of the draft. They had a looping tape of one store, Hot Sam, 100-year business. We were so busy, we crashed our internet. As we talk about the internet, it was crashed. From that event, that one event, 750, largest draft ever. We now, here we are, 2026, July 2026. We're shipping all over the world. Just last week, we had folks from Africa. Last week, we had people from Jamaica, all coming to Hot Sam. We ship all over the world, and we say it proudly with our chest. There's no city like Detroit.
And we had a conversation. I believe last Sunday. We were at the grandbaby's celebration, going to Florida A&M. I know you're a proud grandfather. Wonderful time, wonderful food, wonderful people. I mean, it's always that way. How you do things. But you said something to me that registered and stuck with me. You said you just getting started. You said you ain't seen nothing yet. You said you just getting started, and you just indicated you ain't no spring chicken. So tell us tell me what you mean. You just getting started. Explain that to me.
Well, and you asked me